What's up, guys? Tim Little. Welcome back to TacticalBassin. Today I got a treat for you. Our friends over at Shimano sent us two brand new Curado 150 DCs. I am super excited about this reel. This reel retails for sub $300, I believe $249.99 for a digitally controlled braking system reel. DC reels, for those of you guys that aren't familiar with them, it's got a computer inside, a brain inside that adjusts the spool, the RPMs of the spool to reduce backlashing. You can get longer casts, smoother casts, light baits, casting into the wind. This reel is gonna be sweet. Matt and I, we have a handful or a few DC reels in our own collection already. Typically we buy them on eBay or from overseas, but the new Curado 150 DC is going to be available in the American market. A lot of these DC reels are only available overseas in the Japanese market, so super excited to spool up these two brand new reels. I'm going to put one, I'm going to spool one up with fluorocarbon, 12-pound fluorocarbon. I'm going to spool one up with 65-pound Max Quattro braid. I'm going to do some frogging. I'm going to do some light bait casting and explain to you guys some of the features in this bad boy right here, the new Curado 150 DC. This is going to be available for pre-order for Tackle Warehouse. We'll put a link right below in the video description where you guys can get your hands on these as soon as they come out. So I'm going to spool these up. I'm going to show you guys some close-up shots of some of the key features. I'm going to go make some casts, and you guys keep an ear out for that notorious, that DC sound. Let's go make some casts. All right, guys, I spooled up this first DC, this Curado DC with 65-pound Max Quattro braid. I tied on a frog and paired that up with the X-Pride 7.3 Extra Heavy. This is a fantastic frog rod. It's one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the settings on the reel themselves. So again, the DC, that is a digitally controlled brake. It's a computerized braking system. On the side of the reel right here, you have a dial that says open, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open is going to be what you set it to open the side plate to get to your spool. 1 is going to be the least amount of resistance. 2 is going to be your braid setting. If you're throwing braid or mono, this is the setting you want to be on. 3 is going to be your fluorocarbon setting. And 4, that is your most braking system. That's going to be skipping. That's going to be casting light baits into the wind. So it's very easy, 1 through 4, depending on what your reel is spooled with and the baits you're throwing. So right here, I'm going to make some casts. I'm going to go ahead and set this to, I'm actually going to go ahead and set it to 1. I want you guys to hear that DC sound. It sounds kind of like bees. You know, the first time I heard it when Matt got some of his reels, his DCs overseas from Japan, I thought his reel was coming apart, but it's actually a pretty cool sound. You get used to it very quickly, but that is the computer inside applying and disengaging the brake as your spool is turning during the RPM. So here we go. Number 1, I'm gonna make a bomber cast. Boom, landed. No backlash. I just threw that frog probably 30 to 40 yards. Guys better be careful, I might be able to hit him with a frog from here. Pretty cool to be able to toss a frog 40 yards with no backlash, no effort, no wind. Again, I'm gonna throw it this way so you guys can get an up close visual of the reel, and hopefully you guys can really pick up that DC sound. landed. So again, no backlash. I did apply a little bit of thumb tension, but nowhere near what you have to do with a normal or traditional non-DC reel. Again, I threw that probably 35 yards. Hopefully you guys can hear that sound. It's a pretty cool sound. Now you don't necessarily need to throw a frog 30 or 40 yards, but obviously if you're throwing a big spook or a vixen or a wake bait or something like that, the farther you can throw, the more water you can cover, better chance of getting bit. Where this is really going to come into play, like your crankbaits, the farther you throw, the deeper they can get down. So this DC setup on this new Curado, I think it's a no-brainer, guys. I already love the Curado K. It is now my most universal favorite reel. I can throw anything from light finesse stuff on it to punching 2-ounce weights and frogging. Now to add the DC braking system, very smart. Still going, boom, landed. Hopefully you guys see this. I'm gonna bomb one out here and you guys will be able to see how far this thing's going. Or you can see how long I'm having to reel it in. It's going a long ways, guys. And that is on setting 1. I'm not even using the braid setting. Ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the fluoro setup. I paired that DC to the, I believe it's a 610 X Pride medium. I'll double check. But I tied on a 3/8 ounce jig. You know what, let me turn this to 2 real quick. That is the braid setting. So again, I was on the 1 setting. That is the open setting, but you can see I have braid on here and it was working. So let's go number 2 setting and see how much it restricts or how much it limits the casting. Not much. Probably about 5 yards difference. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm shooting 4K, so I'll try and zoom into where the frog's landing, but it's a long ways away, guys. All right, we got the 1/2 ounce dirty jigs. Jig paired up with a Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, an awesome jig combo. Again, I got the DC spooled up with 12-pound Sunline fluorocarbon, and yes, this is the 6'10" medium X Pride. So again, the settings: open, that's how you pull your side plate off. 1, that's going to be your least restricted braking system. 2 is your braid setting / mono. 3 is going to be your fluorocarbon setting, and 4 is going to be your most restricted setting. If you're in a backlash conditions, skipping light baits, casting light baits into the wind, that's going to be your setting. So let's start with 4. I'm going to take this jig, make a cast. Threw that thing, I don't know, 25 yards. No issues. Super smooth, really comfortable in the hand. I love the 150 size. It fits very well in your hand. You know, one of my other favorite reels is that Chronarch, that 150 MGL. That thing's a beast too, and might have some competition as my my favorite. All right, there's a jig about 30 yards. Again, you guys can see how long I'm reeling. This is a 7.4. This is the HG. Yes, HG. I believe the XG is a 8 point something to 1 gear ratio reel. Again, about 35 yards. No issues. That's enough cast for you guys with this, but let's go ahead and see. I'm gonna go see if I can catch a frogfish and see how awesome the drag is. I love again the Curado K. That it's just a meat and potatoes reel. You can do everything with it, but 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce punching, frogging, it's fantastic. And I think I have a feeling that I'm gonna love this DC too. So let's go see if we can get make a few casts and maybe get a frog blow up. All right, here we go, bomber cast. There it is, guys. That is first frogfish on the new Curado 150 DC. And of course, the big camera died. I just looked back at it, it was on, and got this fish right out of this slop right here. No issues with the drag. I had that thing locked down. This thing came through all this thick vegetation. I really think this reel's a winner, guys. But if you guys have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Matt and I will try and get to those. Just a quick update on Matt. He is still at home recovering, doing well. We appreciate all the support with that, guys. But if you guys have any questions, again, leave them down below. If you have any comments, hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Again, this is the Curado 150 DC. It's a winner, guys. So again, down below in the video description, we'll leave a link to it where you guys can pre-order them. So when they get here in the United States, you can get them from Tackle Warehouse. We appreciate the support, guys. You guys have a good day.